Welcome to Pouring Takes. I'm Charlie Van.
And I am Rayya. Here we are at beautiful Bryan Street Tavern again for back-to-back weeks for Texas Tuesday. $1 off Texas drafts, $1 off Wells. What a great Tuesday night.
I love Texas Tuesday, not just because of the specials. It is very great busy here tonight in this environment.
It is.
So
They got volleyball going. They've got bocce ball going. There's a Rangers game on. The possibilities are endless.
By the way, what is bocce ball?
Oh, it's a French game, actually called pétanque.
Oh.
And that's as much as I know about it. I know you throw a ball and you hit another ball out, but that's all I got for you. And it's like a upscale garden game, like a croquet, but en français.
I like it. I like it. Well, I mean, it's such a beautiful day here in Dallas. You know, it was a little bit rainy last week, so definitely excited for it. Nice and chill. We're back here outside.
Well, it's spring, and I'm still under the weather.
Yeah, how are those allergies doing?
I don't know, but this whiskey sure helps.
There you go. Cheers. What? So you are drinking
Coke
back
and
again?
whiskey,
Coke
back
and whiskey.
The same thing.
I got a nice Blood and Honey, which we had on the show here before. It's the nice, about 7%
the best
beer.
Yes, Revolver Blood and Honey is probably in my top 3.
They are good. They are instant classic. And Tanner, you're drinking, as always, Dallas Blonde. That is your go-to.
Yes, you are.
Our great producer here. And we got some shots.
We got some shots, but before we get into the shots, subscribe to our channels at pouringtakes.com. You'll see all of our social medias, all of the channels we have our show on, clips on Instagram, TikTok, etc. Find us there.
All right, so these shots now, these are normally, Rayya, we are like green tea fanatics. Maybe every once in a while. Last week we threw in a Fireball because we do like our whiskey, but this is a white tea. This is a little bit of vodka.
And why are we doing these shots, Charlie Van?
Well, one, because both of us had a pretty perfect bracket, I would say, this weekend as far as March Madness goes, which we'll get into here in a second. And then our Texas Rangers had one heck of an opening
game. It's always the bugs.
Okay, they're bugging you as always. Yes, there is bugs out here, and I'm trying to fight not to sneeze.
Remember, if you sneeze, you have to do another shot.
That is true. That is part of our drinking game this episode. So, cheers.
Cheers. Happy opening day, family.
Yes, to the Rangers, to being somewhat right with March Madness.
Y'all, I did it. I didn't miss my mouth this time.
That is its own victory.
It really is. I'm a lady, guys. Okay, so on the topic of the Rangers, did you see those rings?
Holy moly, those are beautiful.
What's your favorite part about the ring?
I like the emblem a lot. I was looking through, somebody posted all the different teams in the past, like almost decade now, like maybe since 2015 of who've won. All of them had interesting like logos stick out. I feel like theirs really does, because that T can be like pretty small and sometimes underwhelming, but on that ring it really sticks out, so I like that.
So I like how when you pop it open, on the inside on the top, it says 11-0 on the road, and each one of the letters is the logo from one of the teams they beat.
That's awesome.
So like the R is from the Rays, the O is from the Orioles, the A from the Astros, and the D from the Diamondbacks. Like, how crazy did that work out?
So I wonder how much, because I don't know too much as far as going into how each team does. Yeah, there's a lot of creaking.
I'm sorry,
I feel like
that scared me.
This roof, it's just the wind.
I thought I was gonna die.
This is Final Destination. But I wonder how much goes into their like input from the team. They're like, let's do this design. Like, we have a little bit more freedom. And if that's true, that's so cool.
Incredible. And whoever's on their like marketing, design, graphic design teams, like it really came out nice. Like top to bottom, I think it's one of the most beautiful championship rings I've ever seen. And I'm not trying to be biased being a Texas Ranger fan.
But it does look awesome, and it was so exciting watching them get their rings, although definitely kind of, I won't say felt, but, you know, some of the guys not part of the team, even some of the young guys, you know, but
that's part of the deal.
You know, it is, but it was exciting. I wonder,
that just means they have to repeat.
So do they just meld, like, you know, Martin Perez and then?
No, they wait till they come to the stadium and they give it to them live. That's what they do in other sports.
Man, I would have been like, I want that stuff.
What are you gonna do? Put it on a Brinks truck and be like, yeah, see ya?
Heck yeah.
What's
I'd
wrong
do
with
it.
You? No, they deserve to have their moment too.
Yeah.
Like, I'd be pretty pissed if you backed a Brink truck up to my house.
I'd be like, can our game be like next month? Just after watching that ceremony, seeing those rings, I'd really get a little anxious. But like you said, it is part of the sport. But what an opening weekend it was, you know, for the Rangers. Rayya, for you, what were some positives right out the gate, and were there any concerns you had?
Evaldi starting exactly where he left off. Aldis Garcia starting exactly where he left off. Wyatt Langford fitting into the lineup beautifully. Tanner, you can't do that because you're distracting me.
Sorry, they just botched an out.
Is it because I said Aldis Garcia and he
The Rangers
got
are
an error?
playing like right now the Rays, so this is what we get.
This is why you can't let me sit on this side. So those are the good things. Bad things, I am concerned about the other starting pitchers not named Nate Evaldi. There's a lot of moving parts, which we knew coming into the season was going to be tough. Evan Carter fracturing his wrist, kind of a big blow.
Josh Young.
Sorry, Josh Young.
Yeah.
I got the babies mixed up. Wow. Josh Young. Fracturing his wrist kind of hurts my feelings, but I do think we have a deep enough lineup that it'll take care of itself. And plus, you don't want to start out too hot anyway. Like, don't give it all to me up front. Make me wait for it. Make me crave it. Make me want it.
Well, I'll give you some positive update. This is via Bruce Bochy and Chris Young on
Chris
Josh.
Young? Oh, our Chris Young. Okay.
Our Chris Young.
I got really confused.
on Josh Young. Luckily, it looks like he'll be out for 6 weeks. So they had the surgery today in Phoenix. Same surgery team that worked on his thumbs from last August. So it looks like more positive, where he won't have to miss as much time. I would say my positives, right away, I agree right there, the starting pitching, but Wyatt Langford, because there's so much expectations coming into this opening week, just all the buzz around him, and boy, did he deliver. I didn't feel any moment that he was nervous, very confident.
He's been waiting for this moment.
He's been waiting, and such a quick rise. And even on Sunday, even though that was a loss, he had probably one of the greatest plays of the weekend. He got to play left field, that slide into that catch. You can see Evaldi be like,
yep.
How did you do it? And even last night, try to steal all the way to third. Like, no hesitation, no fear. That's what we want to see. And obviously the ceiling's high for him, so that was exciting. I'm just glad to see the hitting coming out hot, not cold. I wasn't too surprised by that, but you never know.
Were you afraid of like a World Series hangover?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, when you come into any season with any team, right? As champions, making a statement's huge, but do you come in too confident, or do you come in where the anxiety, right, of performing in that first game?
Carrying the weight of coming off the biggest
especially
win of
with
your
this
careers,
team that's not been part of it, right, has not been a champion before, and you do have some young talent too. So I was a little nervous, and that first game was nerve-wracking, but we closed it out and then made a huge statement on Saturday. So I'm excited. A lot of baseball to play.
Clearly.
And I will say, Dane Dunnan did a heck of a job yesterday. So. He's silent compared to like Evaldi and.
No, but that's how we like it.
That's how we like it. So I feel like the starting pitching to me is not as concerning as more on the relief side. Leclerc had some issues both Thursday and Sunday. Maybe that's a confidence. John Gray though in the starting had a little issues on Sunday. But he was not happy about it. But he had a heck of a World Series, so maybe that's just rust. We'll see.
Yep. We will definitely see. So we got the Rays right now. I believe the Astros come to town next, so should be exciting. Stay tuned with us. We are going to do a Texas Live episode sometime this summer. Just working out the details, but a fun tailgate, as we teased a little bit last week.
Yeah, no, it'd be so exciting. I'm just so pumped for baseball to be back. I think just because there's so much positive coming in. Mm-hmm. We, as Rangers fans, we don't always have that. And you mentioned about the getting hot. A lot of times we'll get hot first, right?
Right.
And then
that's what happened
fizzle.
last year.
Yeah, and that fizzle. But we had a little more of a rocky opening weekend than this time. But I think that just comes with the confidence of what this team has, and they didn't lose it.
Yep. Sounds good to me. Okay. All right, what else is going on in Dallas sports? Let's have our little therapy session. I think it's going to be more of like a positive therapy session. I think a lot of good things are happening at the same time. What's your favorite thing happening right now in Dallas sports?
Man, I love it, and we'll get into the Mavs and Stars, but both of them on their streaks right now, both on fire, connecting when they need to be on in the clutch right now, this part of the season.
When it matters the most.
When it matters, especially with the Mavs. I wasn't too worried with the Stars. They've been in good shape, but the Mavs, we didn't want them in that play-in tournament.
No,
and
not at
now
all.
they're in fifth. They won the game that they needed to over Houston. Luka doing Luka things.
Not done yet. Not done yet. Think about this. The Mavs still have to go against the Warriors 2 more times. So look, bocce ball is lit, you guys.
I love we got some good natural sound. No, not done yet, but in the right direction.
Yeah. I am nervous. I am nervous to see how these 2 games against the Warriors go. We're on a 7-game win streak. There's 8 games left in the season. Like you said, we are now in spot number 5. And Luka has moved up to 2nd place on those MVP odds.
And
How do you feel about that?
Oh, rightfully so. Even though if you look a lot of the media network, they don't have him in the top 4, top 5. Stephen A. Smith, Colin Cowherd. No, he is a top 2 guy. If you ask anybody else around the league, they're going to say it too. All the basketball experts say it. What he's done is magical. It is great. That freaking, who makes a shot like that one-handed, just like if he was in his bedroom just tossing paper away. Like, that's what Luka does.
Luka thrives in environments where he can be a kid.
Yeah.
Like, he's not a leader, and that's okay. I don't need him to be a leader. I just need him to work and get it done. Don't complain, but he does well when he has fun, and I think bringing in P.J. Washington and Daniel Gafford has brought like the fun back. He reminds me of the way he was playing in the last, was it the Olympics or the Euros? It was the Euros, I believe, with Slovenia. He had no cares in the world. He was kicking passes out. He was trusting his teammates, and he was giggling all the time. You know what Luka does when he's in a good mood. So I feel like as long as Luka is authentically happy on the court, good things happen.
Well, I mean, winning cures everything, right? Winning is so much fun.
Cliche.
How about this? Off the court, too, he's a dad now. Too, that brings extra joy. That brings extra motivation. That brings passion. So he's got a lot of positives. I think another person, we mentioned Washington, Gafford, but how about a guy that can be a leader and has that veteran experience is Kyrie Irving.
Yep, you read my mind. Put the leadership burden on Kyrie. Kyrie's the one that's been to the NBA Finals. He understands deep playoff runs. He's played for multiple teams. He's played in toxic environments. Yeah. Put that on him. Don't put that on Luka. Luka's not built for that. No offense.
And maybe not right now. I mean, I can remember some players in the past that you didn't think of as a leader right away, but maturity and time. Luka still has time.
Okay, who does Luka remind you of? Who is somebody Luka reminds you of that grew into a leader eventually?
I remember a younger Allen Iverson that starting off, there was that emotion, there was that playful, and then over time he demanded the court.
But was he a leader, or was he someone who commanded attention?
Maybe, but I thought a lot of times by his example on the court, he said, I'll tell another one, Dirk. Dirk was this goofy, awkward guy when he got here.
I believe Dirk over AI.
Okay, well,
easily.
maybe I came more by leader on example in that, but I felt like Dirk was one, and I used to hear people question Dirk's leadership. Can he lead? Can he get it done?
Yeah, can he even speak English?
Well,
that was a conversation.
Didn't go there, but yes. But can he lead? That was a big thing. Can he lead? Can he get it done? And we saw with time and maturity, he was a leader.
Yeah, I think sometimes we tend to forget Luka's only 25.
Yeah, he's 25.
Right?
Yeah,
25.
25. He's 25 years old. He's still got a lot of time. I think experience, winning, having the right people around you to push. And so I think we just need Luka to be Luka. I mean, as long as you're not getting into those emotional outbreaks, but that's where you have a guy like Kyrie. I was just talking about it with someone early to pull. It's like, you don't need to do that.
Yeah, you don't need to do it. And that's what I think Luka's been lacking in his time here in Dallas is someone to literally crawl up his butt and say, son, you do not need to be getting mixed up in the BS. Just do what you do best. Play basketball. You don't need to be arguing with refs. You don't need to be taking defensive time off to, have your little outburst, get your technical foul. I mean, somebody made a joke to me the other day that the only reason why Luka's behaving is because he's a technical foul away from being suspended a game.
Yeah, I mean, there's possibility. He's not like Draymond, though.
No, he's nothing like Draymond.
And I don't mean that good, but I mean like that guy. When you look at him, that's somebody you don't want to grow into as far as that emotion, and that's where the maturity, right there. But having somebody to really like grab, and that's where like having that teammate like really be in face. And I just want to say real quick too on somebody who emotionally evolved over time. Okay, Kid did. I remember Kid used to be very emotional, very in your face, and then over time when he got here, especially. That was that veteran leadership as well. I felt it was him and Dirk. So,
speaking of veteran leadership, you are the older one out of the two of us in this friendship. Why did you try to prank me on April Fool's Day with Dwight Powell?
Just because I'm older.
Explain that.
Yeah.
Yeah, explain to them what you tried to pull on me yesterday, April Fool's Day.
That Dwight Powell was waived from the Dallas Mavericks. I mean, that's a good one though. That's a good one. Even though I don't know if are they even at the point anymore? Are they far? They're far from waiver. But you bought it.
No, I didn't.
Yeah.
I literally called you and I said, "This is not real." Like I said that back to him.
There probably was a little bit. I'm sure you wish though.
I mean, of course
Yeah,
I wish.
you wish.
Which is why you sent it to me in the first place.
I may be older, but I didn't say I was much wiser. This is what we do. We have dad jokes.
He literally
We live for April Fools.
He tried.
My future kids someday.
Oh Lord.
Swatch.
Oh, don't even.
But I feel like some of on X though, or Twitter, whatever it's called now, it's so okay, that's so far-fetched now. It's not even clever.
I just want to tell you now the Rays are up 5-0.
Great. Drink.
I know we don't have Zach today, but help.
See, that's why I do the beer, because 2 sips and gone.
It's fine. I'll live. Okay, let's move on from the Mavs. I think I've given you enough of a hard time. Let's go with the Stars. Also on a 7-game win streak. In fact, I saw a stat yesterday that the Mavs and Stars have been undefeated since Pornhub was banned in Texas.
There you go. Thank you, Pornhub. Don't like our porn here in Texas.
Apparently not. Apparently that's the missing link. No, it's not.
No.
But, okay, Stars 7-game win streak, 7 more games to go. We got 3 big games this week, including one against the Colorado Avalanche on Sunday. Colorado secured a playoff spot shortly after we did. Right now, things are looking really effing good, huh?
They are, and some good news I was just reading today. Chris Tanev, it looks like he's back to practice, so that's good because he had a nasty arm jam. I thought his arm was broken.
Yeah, he told me his arm was broken, and I was like, oh.
Well,
God.
that's
no,
what
that
a
one I did
reporter-
not take as an April Fool's joke.
Well,
by
they
the way.
didn't have. Well, that was before April 1st, so that was earlier this week, and he did get. I mean, it was pretty bad though. It happened Saturday night. There was a reporter that said it looked like his arm was broken, but apparently came back in that third period. What a tough guy, but it doesn't look as serious. When you watched it, it looked pretty nasty. It's that's a guy we can't afford to lose here.
Nope, cannot. But yeah, we were talking about this the other day that Jamie Benn and Tyler Seguin have really been key in the 7-game win streak, which is very weird for me to say given that Rupe Hintz and Jason Robertson have been carrying this team. So it's really interesting to see the veterans having to step up to try to seal that top spot in the West. Do you see us winning the ill-fated President's Cup?
Oh man, I hope not. Hey, you said we're playing the Avalanche on Saturday?
Sunday.
Or Sunday? That's a battle right there because Avalanche, they're bringing it. They know they're right there, right behind. Anything's
but
possible.
they have secured a playoff spot.
They have secured a playoff spot. Man, and we got to see what Vancouver's doing too. Their stretch.
I thought it was hilarious that we got our playoff spot against Vancouver. Vancouver, I thought, was going to wipe the floor with us. Wipe the ice with us? Wipe the ice off of us?
Ice floor. It's technically a floor. Ice rink, right?
Ice.
Yeah, and President's Cup aside, I mean, what this team is doing, I think this is a better squad than it was even last year.
Oh, we've been talking about that. We have
And
said this is a better built team than last year.
I think it is because our veterans are doing what they need to do, but it's these young guys. It's guys like Wyatt, Logan Stankoven, that are really, really stepping up, and they're barely been on the ice. It's the mix. It feels just like the Rangers, and I've said that before. And I think Pete DeBoer's done a great job.
Ottinger's riding a really good stretch too.
He is. I think and he's healthy now. I think you had to put a little bit of the injury and the we can't say rink rust a little bit. He seems confident. He seems happy. So they're just clicking. They're having fun.
Also in new dad news, Scott Wedgwood had a baby
that's right.
as well.
Congrats, Scott.
There's something in the water here
There's
in
baby
Dallas.
fever here in Dallas. I don't have it.
Keep it away from me.
I have a dog. That's about it.
I have 2.
I'll get another
I'm
dog
good.
before. No, but it's great. I mean, it just a lot of positive vibes, and like the Mavs. I mean, they're rolling, and I feel like the lineups have been great. Defense is really coming through for the Stars. We were watching it all together Saturday night.
Yeah, we were.
And
Fun fact, we were together Saturday night.
We were watching sports together Saturday. Even in that scoreless first, 1.5, I would say, period, they scored at the end of the second. I mean, that defense, though, looked really good and had a lot of good shots on goals. So I like what I'm seeing.
And you can feel the buzz in Dallas. We went full bar hopping Saturday, and we talked to multiple people, friends, acquaintances, whatever you want to call them. People are excited about #Texas hockey.
Yeah, I mean, it's a thing.
It is the thing. It's not just the
thing.
thing. It's the thing.
Well, I think it's because also we look at them. We said this before last year after the Rangers won. Who's most likely the next team?
Mm-hmm. Or not to repeat, but to win the next
and
championship.
it's the start, but because they've been building.
Thank you.
They've been building towards it, and they get better and better and better. So, I'm excited. I'm fighting off gnats over here.
I know. I'm really
I feel like I need a hockey.
I have to say, this episode, I feel like I'm super distracted.
Oh.
Nuts!
All right,
I saw it happen too.
protein.
Do you want me to get it for you?
I got it.
I would do it. Eat it.
Oh, it's still alive. No, we're not gonna eat the net. Oh, this thing won't get off. Sorry, buddy. But you know what? It was the alcohol content that got him.
Instant.
Couldn't
drunk.
hang. Couldn't blooded honey. It wasn't a bee, thank God.
We drank a lot Saturday.
Well, we're just gonna put that out there.
Hold on. What got you on Saturday? What got you buzzing? What were you drinking Saturday?
No, nothing was buzzing on Saturday.
You were a little lit. What was your go-to Saturday? I can't remember.
Oh, we're just doing Coors Light.
That's what it was, Coors Light. But you were feeling good.
I was feeling good. I wouldn't say lit.
I'm not saying you were lit. I said buzzing. First of all.
The night before, so I was probably kind of recovering.
The night before,
yes.
you were certainly.
Yeah.
Wait, that's right. You were with Tanner the night before.
Yeah, I mean, shout out to 411, our friend Garrett Bond. We went to Granada, watched his 311 cover tribute band, which that was a lot of fun.
Wait, his tribute band for 311 is called 411?
Heck yeah.
Yes.
I fucking love that.
Yes, it was awesome. It was a fun time. And then Tanner went home, and I went to other places. So,
I was responsible.
yeah, Tanner is the responsible one.
Charlie met up with us Saturday at
Barley House.
At
2 o'clock.
And yeah, I could tell he was a little tired from the night before. I was really surprised to see him, but I coaxed him to come out with us because I was like, I'm watching March Madness all day. That's all I'm doing. All I did was drink wine, by the way.
Which is pretty good.
Little did I know, the combination of women's basketball and wine, that works.
Right? Get Josh on the phone.
Yes.
Come on, Josh.
Josh does have a wine with the Dallas Cowboys.
Dude, that's awesome.
Some women's NCAA basketball wines.
No, I'm telling you guys, being a woman who likes wine, watching women's basketball, it just kind of lined up, and I thoroughly enjoyed it, especially when I went from Sauvignon Blanc to Rosé. I felt.
So how's
the
that
difference.
So what's the difference? So I'm not.
Thank you so much.
Since we are a drinking show as well, we might have talked about this on our previous type of show in the past that involved drinking.
Right.
So wine or rosé?
Cocktails.
Wine or rosé?
Okay,
How is that?
Rosé is a type of wine. So you're asking me.
No, what is because I know some will do only white, some will only do red, and
I'm an equal opportunity wine drinker except for Merlots and Chardonnays.
So you'll double dip or triple dip, because some won't even touch rosé.
So here's the cool thing about wine. Wine is supposed to pair with things that are going on in your life, right? When you go for a fancy dinner, for example, you have an appetizer, you have a super salad, you have your main course, and then you have your dessert, right? As a wine drinker, you can have a different wine for each course. So you can start with bubbles, some champagne, some Prosecco, and then transition into something a little drier, like a Sauvignon Blanc. And then, like we talked about last week with the filet mignons, get yourself a Pinot Noir or a Cabernet Sauvignon. And then with dessert, you can go even deeper with a dessert wine. There's endless possibilities when it comes to pairing wine and life together, and I think that's one of the most beautiful things about drinking wine.
So how would you pair? Because we watched March Madness on Saturday.
Yep.
Which wine would excite you to compare with March Madness? Which wine would get with the Rangers and with the Stars?
I love this game. Okay. So March Madness, I think because You're watching college kids put it all out there.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's having fun. You don't know what can happen. Upsets everywhere. You gotta go with the bubbles. You gotta
right.
go with the champagne.
There you go.
It's unpredictable. It's fun. I would say I tend to go towards Pinot Noirs during Cowboy games. They keep me very level-headed, and then by the time it's over, I can go straight to bed because chances are I'm crying.
So would Pinot go better with the Rangers baseball?
I said the Cowboys.
Well, I mean, but since we were watching, like for this weekend, from what we were.
Okay. So for the Rangers, we went 2-1, but I think because baseball's played outside, typically during the day, I'm gonna go Pinot Grigio.
All right. I like that.
Yeah.
I've had a little bit of Pinot Grigio.
And then what else? Hockey.
Hockey, Stars.
Man, every time we've gone to a Stars game, I've just been drunk off of Jack. So hang on, let me think about
So
this.
that's rosé, because you
That
can
could
get
be rosé.
you can get pretty because it's very neutral.
See, you know what you're talking
I know
about.
a little bit. I know. I have a buddy, Matt, used to do a craft beer podcast. He worked in the wine cell, so he was trying, educated me, trying to get me to wine. I'm kind of getting there. I'm still more of a red wine drinker. Don't mind wine. I think it's just because it's a little sweet. A lot of them are a little bit sweeter for me. They do go good with fish. I do know that. Fish turkey. I like that.
Turkey?
A fish turkey. If you've never seen a fish turkey, I'm sure the company Asylum that makes Sharknado could do that.
Tanner's like, I'm done with you. But yeah, I feel like you could really match up wine to whatever's going on in your life. For
I like
sure.
that.
And you don't have to pick a side. You can like all of them.
I don't know. I feel like people like to pick sides these days.
Okay, that's a different conversation.
Beer's the same
podcast.
though. Beer is the same though.
I think I found my PowerPoint party.
There you go. Why not?
Topic. Why not? All right, getting into the business that is March Madness.
Mm-hmm.
As I said, Charlie and I did watch the bulk of the games together on Saturday. It was really fun actually having the Sweet 16 Elite 8 here in Dallas. Friday night, me and a bunch of friends hanging out in Victory Park. We went to every single bar in the Victory Park area, just watching all the games. For me, the highlight was seeing Duke upset Houston, and even though called it, I feel bad for University of Houston fans. You lose your best player in the most important game to that point of the season, and it is what it is. Just to see Duke lose to NC State, by the way. Hello, Cinderella. Okay, do you classify NC State as this year's Cinderella, even though they've had previous tournament appearances?
I mean, I still think so. Just being that 11th seed, what they're coming into. I mean, they had a great conference, obviously. Conference run.
ACC is legit.
But compared to who they've been stacked up against, and especially, with Duke, I would think so. But they're a Cinderella-esque, if that makes sense. But they've earned it. They've proved that they can hang with just about anybody. I love Burns Young Jr. That guy is big. He's an enforcer. I think their coach has done a great job.
That is a 30-year-old man on the court.
That's okay.
He's a grown-ass man.
I mean, that's no different than, Bo Nix, 25 years old.
No,
yeah.
Charlie, you look at Bo Nix and you're like, all right, where's the frat party? You look at Burns and you're like, how many kids you got?
I mean, that's a movie. 30-year-old goes back to college and possible wins a national championship. Regardless, and I love his dad. His dad's a lot of fun and charismatic every time they show him. No, I mean, they have Cinderella-esque, and I say esque because I feel like we were already talking about it. We knew the momentum they were coming in, how good they were looking, coming into this tournament. They're only Cinderella because of the teams in front of them, but this is March Madness.
Follow-up question, were they seated too low then?
Maybe. We got the fans going.
Oh my God, can we not Final Destination the set, please?
Yeah, this is in Final Destination 1 where there's a fan and stuff and they share it. So anyway, we got a lot going on here. Yeah, maybe. They look like it now. I mean, and how they've been, in this tournament and at the end there, they just straight up beat up on Duke.
Yeah, it was not even a contest.
Yeah.
They ran away with that.
Yeah. So yeah, I think so. But that's kind of the beauty and fun of March Madness.
Yeah, I was gonna say when you look at the bracket and you see an 11 seed in the Final Four, you're like, there's your Cinderella.
Yeah.
But when you look at their season as a whole, you look at the history of the program, I can see why most people would not label them a Cinderella.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited to see them in this Final Four. You know, I kind of put them in more of like where San Diego State was last year, because I think they've earned that. Like, I feel like they've earned that kind of presence. I'm super excited for this matchup, though, with Purdue.
Yeah, I was going to say, both Final Fours across the board. So we'll start with the men. So you got North Carolina State and Purdue and UConn and Alabama. Alabama, kind of a surprise.
Yeah, they're fighting. You know, I feel like they were in early conversation last year and just didn't deliver on that level like they should. Now they have a second chance, you know, and they have taken full advantage of it. That game against UNC was very down on the wire, very good. They're fighting.
UNC was your
They were my Final Four.
Yeah.
But I mean, I knew it wouldn't be easy. Alabama is tough. UConn, on the other hand, they have put everyone away. You know, they have looked like that dominant champion, that John Jones, that, you know, Islam Maka, you know, as fighting that just puts everyone away. But there's always that one contender that comes in that at least will push you, and I think Alabama could possibly do that.
How funny was it to see Alabama and Clemson face off against each other in basketball?
I know, that is funny.
You're like, those are two football
I know.
schools. And here we are in the Elite, no, Sweet 16.
Elite Eight.
Elite Eight.
Yeah.
We're in the Elite Eight, and we have this matchup. What kind of gift is that?
It's funny because we were sitting around, I think, Clemson fans, because they were
Yeah.
So, no, I mean, congrats to Clemson. How about the ACC, though? I mean, NC State, Duke, Clemson, you know, North Carolina. Like,
and I got SMU moving to the ACC next year. Thoughts and prayers are greatly appreciated.
well, it's exciting. It's exciting to see those schools that we're not always keeping an eye on when it comes to basketball really get in there. It makes it more exciting, and they're all both very physical.
I will say I had my bar was on the floor for the men's tournament, and I have enjoyed watching the men's games more than I thought I was going to.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's been a lot more upsets, you know, and twists and turns, and that's kind of what I always like to see. Like, I don't want to be always completely right.
Yeah, nobody wants to go chalk. That's
unless
boring.
there's money on the line with my bracket or a shot. But I just love the unexpected. And even if there's a number one, a team like you, let's just say, still left standing, it's fun to see everyone around them get in the mix.
And UConn's not even in like a power conference.
No.
They're Big East, I believe, right?
Yeah, but, you know, I think with them, it's like what we see with these experienced teams, what Dan Hurley's done with them. I'll say this real quick about Dan Hurley. I don't know if you saw the clip. It's from 4 years ago. He's like, just watch us. You know, they were in a slump, and they're like, we're going to be here.
No, they've had a bunch of struggle seasons.
And last year, taking it, just the confidence, and this team it's beast mode.
Before we switch over to the women, I just want to point out this is the first time where two Final Four schools are represented in both the men's and the women's
NC
brackets.
State. Yeah.
NC State
Yeah.
and UConn. Mad props to
program.
those schools. Mad props to those programs. Let's switch over to the women.
Yes.
Because that is where the drama is.
That game last night.
Charlie, I got one question for you.
Yeah.
Who run the world?
South Carolina?
I hate you. I hate you.
I mean, what a game last night, Iowa and LSU.
Oh.
You know, I mean, even though in the end Iowa did pull away, but that first half,
They were neck and neck. Jesus.
Which is what you want. I mean, last year's final rematch early, or earlier, you know.
Yeah. Well, that's why everyone was so shocked that the committee put them in the same region.
Yeah.
Which is kind of a disservice to all of us basketball fans, but the game lived up to the hype.
It did, and we wanted to see how can Iowa bounce back and redeem, and you know, Coach Boulder was on Pat McAfee today talking about, like, we didn't want to look at it like a redemption. It's a new game, it's a new season,
different teams.
Yeah, different teams, and boy, what this Iowa team, you know, has been able to do, and the magic of Caitlin Clark, and we saw LSU in some early struggle even with Middle Eastern State.
I want to say this real quick. I know Caitlin almost had 50 points last night, but I don't think her supporting cast gets enough credit.
Oh, great support. Actually, half of it, I felt like, especially in that first two quarters, the supporting cast showed up.
Yeah, those girls are waiting for, and Caitlin Clark had 12 assists. It's not like she just went off for almost 50 points. She's a facilitator.
Yeah.
one of her teammates in the post-game interview said, I just have to be ready. I just stay ready because I know Caitlin's going to get me the ball. And that's exactly what she did. Caitlin Clark knows that she has to be the star. She knows everybody's watching her, but she doesn't carry it like a burden. She doesn't, sorry, Dallas fans, for what I'm about to say. She doesn't get all Dak Prescott-y.
Yeah.
She doesn't need to play hero ball.
Yeah.
She trusts her teammates. She knows where the open lady is, and she trusts her gut, and that's what makes her as elite as she is.
Yeah, and that also I feel it comes like very quick maturity too in the game. Like the moment never gets bigger than her, and she never lets the moment get bigger than her teammates either.
Yeah,
you
and
know,
the whole game, her demeanor is so solid. She didn't crack a smile the entire game until she knew for sure that the game was in the bag. Well, I would say like around the 2.5-minute mark of the fourth quarter.
I was listening to some of the commentary, and they were talking about, her parents are there, and they wanted to go out and all, and she's like, no, I'm staying in, and she's studying, and it's. I loved when one of my favorite. I'm bringing up Kobe because the mindset of they were up 2-0 in the finals one time, and reporters are like more excited and like, oh, why aren't you smiling? He's like, I mean,
job not done.
Yeah, job not done. And I feel like that's like Caitlin's mindset. I mean, she doesn't have that. She wants that ring.
And we talked about this a couple weeks ago. Her Riz, as the Gen Zs say, is really going to carry her through the end.
What is that?
The Riz, the attitude, the swagger.
The Riz.
Wait, you don't know what Riz is?
See, I'm obviously the older one. Tanner, you know what the Riz?
I know about this, and you don't know about this?
No, I don't.
Anyway, Caitlin Clark
Apparently I don't have it.
has the Riz.
Yeah.
She's about to go #1 in the WNBA draft in a couple weeks, right? On top of that, she is gonna play for Team USA in the Olympics.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, tell me, if that ain't Riz, I don't know what the fuck that is.
That's a good lineup, though. I mean, talk about this. This is possibly your final year, whether you win the championship or not. Then NBA or WNBA draft and the Olympics. What a heck of a year! What a heck of a story.
Hey, and she might play Big 3.
Yeah, she did get the Big 3
I know.
offer.
I skated like $5 million.
Which is way more than she'd make in the WNBA.
Yeah.
You know the top salary in the WNBA is $250,000 a year.
That's crazy.
That sucks.
Of course, I think even outside of like the Big 3, she's going to make a lot with endorsements and sparks.
I mean, she's with State Farm.
Yeah,
she's with Gatorade.
I think she's
going to
be fine. But yeah,
Jinx.
there you go. Cheers.
Y'all are darling.
But, well, and I think, but it's just exciting how she commands leadership on that court. But, hey, I'll say this. If this is also Angel Reese's last year, she's had a heck of a career, too, in basketball.
She's incredible. She's a role model. I like her, not to use the same word twice, but I like her Riz, too. I like that she's cocky and confident. I like that she makes a statement. I like that she does things that are probably going to make her viral. I like things that people probably hate about her.
Yeah.
Because it reminds me of Kobe Bryant.
Yeah.
Nobody liked his attitude. Everyone thought he was an assassin, cold-hearted. And I think that's the angle she needs to play. And what would be really fun is if you follow Angel's career and Caitlin's career, and they are just pit against each other like two prize fighters for the rest of their lives, and you get to see how their stories play out. Hey, maybe one day they talk themselves out of a contract and they end up on the same team. Who knows? But there's so much gold there and so much respect there, and that is going to drive more and more views to women's basketball, which you guys know. I'm here for that.
I mean, you need
Larry Bird / Magic Johnson rivalry. Yeah.
That, somebody's got to be all East Frazier, and you just need that competitive duo, and that's exciting. We got it in college. And
it's going to continue.
It's going to continue.
Although Angel has not yet declared, I have a feeling she will.
Yeah.
Given that she's already won the championship.
Yeah.
She's at the peak of her endorsements. I think she was very raw in her press conference, saying, you know what, I'm not happy. Like when I'm on the court, I'm happy. I love playing ball, but living this life.
Sorry, I got another gnat.
God, drink your beer.
With a gnat?
No, I mean drink it before the gnat drowns in it. What's wrong with you?
Chug it. gonna keep on doing. Maybe they don't like whiskey.
They don't.
There's Coke in here. They like Coke.
Apparently not tonight. Not these. Not these Nats.
I'm glad you got my reference.
If they're Dallas, they're gonna be. This isn't a Michelob.
I'm gonna take offense to that one. Anyway.
They would like Natty Light.
Natty Light.
Anyways, continue with the Riz talk.
The Riz talk.
That'd be actually a good show. The Riz.
You're Delulu. Shut up.
Is this something else?
It's the wheels off show.
Wait a second. You don't know what Delulu means?
Man, I guess I'm like from
Oh,
1940 or like.
Lord, help us. This is how you know I am
I'm not
younger.
part of the cool circle.
All of that to say, I think Angel Reese declares
Yeah.
for the draft. We're going to find out probably in the next 24 to 48 hours, especially with the WNBA draft taking place on April 15th. It's coming up real fast. I think it makes sense. And there's a lot of teams that will require her services. I would love to have her in Dallas.
Yeah.
I love the idea of a big-bodied lady pairing her up with Queen T, Tiara McCowan. I think that would be really great in the post. So we will see what happens there. In terms of moving on in the Final Four, we're looking at South Carolina, North Carolina State, UConn, and Iowa. UConn, great win against 18-year-old Juju Watkins and USC. A lot of people are pushing Juju to declare for the draft at 18, but I think given the way that NIL works, I think the talent that surrounds her at USC, I would want her to stay one more year. Because if she stays one more year and comes out next year instead of this year, she has the chance to be a top 5 pick. I don't think she's a top 5 pick right now. And if she ends up staying at USC, book it now, USC, your women's national championship next year.
Yeah, I mean, especially we just mentioned Caitlin, Angel moving on, most likely. Juju is going to be that star. And
you would want someone like Juju to carry it forward, pick up the momentum. It would suck if all of these stars that we all just became acquainted with in the last 2 years all left at the same time.
Yeah.
If Juju stays, we got someone to like gravitate to, someone to keep, someone to hang on to, and see, all right, how is she going to progress? I would say the same thing about Johnson on LSU number 4, the rapper. Huge fan of her. You know, she's also a freshman. So, you know, getting to see that next quote-unquote generation just carry that torch keeps us all engaged.
Yeah, and you need that star. And there's already big rave about her, and her ceiling's very high. I still feel like there's even more potential there. So
she's gonna grow and develop at USC for sure.
Do you think she's all 4 years?
I wouldn't say all 4 years at this point. I think there's going to be a lot of changes that happen in the WNBA over the next 2 years. So I wouldn't be shocked if she comes out next year or the year after. I don't think she.
I think next year. I mean, I've already people have speculated that she could already.
She should. They're pushing her to go now. I just don't think it's the best idea.
I think USC's like, we'll do what we can to keep you, and rightfully so. I think she is that player that I can see with that ring, like you said, at the end, and they need a player like that. So I'm excited to see. Heck of a game last night against UConn. I mean, both those games.
Let's talk about UConn real quick.
Yeah.
UConn coming in with 8 active people on their roster. Can't add any more.
Yeah.
I believe 6 players sustained season-ending injuries. But here we are, Final Four, UConn. They were dead in the water literally 3 months ago. Is Gino just the best or what?
Well, for sure. And despite all that, they were still in a lot of our brackets, making it because that experience, because of Juno, and just
Juno or Gino?
I'm sorry, Gino.
Drink.
And with my nat-free beer, Gino, and also with Paige. I mean, that's how strong the belief and what this team is able to put together, despite all that adversity, not let it affect them. Had one of the best games last night.
Paige went off last night.
Yeah.
Paige has. She had the double ACL.
Yeah.
She took a lot of time away. Nobody knew what to expect from her coming into this season. And she, sneak attacked us, I think. Because we all knew that she was borderline generational before she got hurt. Then she gets hurt, and you're like, oh, man, here, another one. But she really put this team on her back, along with Aaliyah Edwards, to make this incredible run, to the point where her coaches and assistant coaches are like, we didn't see this coming. We weren't prepared for this. UConn was ready to like pack it up and say, you know what, we'll just grab the next set of recruits, make a run next year, it'll be fine. But Paige was like, I'm a senior. I want my time at UConn to mean something. And she did. Also, she's a TikToker.
Yes, I did see that.
The girl can dance.
So she's got the wrist.
She does. Good job, Charlie.
New segment. Charlie learns new cool phrases and all the.
I got you. I'm
still saying tight.
Dope tight.
Dope tight. Sweet. No, I mean she's the silent assassin. All eyes have been, not that people haven't noticed her, but I think when you talk, it's Caitlin, it's Juju, it's Angel, and she went out there and showed.
She's low-key forgotten.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And not a fault of her own. I think maybe some people, like you said, wrote off because of the injury and that.
Yeah.
But that's fine. That was probably extra motivation if she hasn't mentioned it. And last night's game was showing like, no, this is my court too.
She's here to play.
This has been my court.
Did you see the quote where they're putting the UConn placard on the bracket? And she goes, oh my God, if we're matched up against Iowa, I don't want it. Like, she said it sarcastically, but it was hilarious. Like, her delivery is so funny. She's really great. Like, she's entertaining.
That's such a good matchup right there. I'm excited.
Yeah, me too. So, let's make these picks real quick before we get into WrestleMania.
Our shot take.
So, shot takes for next week. Next week's show is going to be effing loaded, but we will get to that in a minute. So in the women, like I said, we've got South Carolina, North Carolina State, UConn, Iowa. Which ladies are running the world?
I think South Carolina.
Did you pick South Carolina in your bracket too?
I had South Carolina versus Iowa.
Okay.
I'm not going based I'm going based on what I've seen. I have South Carolina versus Iowa, but with Iowa with the upset.
Okay.
But I feel, for the show, I do feel South Carolina. I feel like they're just that good, despite, and also like with Caitlin, like I'm not saying she doesn't need the champion, but I don't really feel like
we already
she
debated
does.
that like 3 episodes ago.
Yeah, so I
fine.
feel like South Carolina is just, when I look at the UConn team, like men's team, like this is that team. They're so dominant.
So for me, I also picked South Carolina in my bracket. This tournament may have shifted my beliefs a little bit. You know, I love Coach Dawn Staley. Dawn Staley is the reason why that South Carolina program is where they're at. She brings the best out of her players, and I believe one of her seniors also declared for the draft today. I could easily see them taking it, but there's just something special happening in Iowa. I think if Iowa lost to LSU, South Carolina would have it in the bag. I think South Carolina is better than everybody, but there's something special happening in Iowa, and I would not be shocked. So my shot take is right Iowa. Here. I'm rolling with Iowa.
Well, it's kind of like when you think about it, it was kind of like the Joe Burrow's final season. I mean, Heisman and ring on the finger at the end, and I think if anyone can beat South Carolina, it is Iowa. And what a story ending there for Caitlin Clark. It's going to be a good game.
You know, she doesn't need it, like we said, but you just kind of feel it. The way they pulled away from LSU, something's different, and I'm here for it.
And we'll just clarify, she doesn't need it, but being a national champion is awesome. But
I would love to see her cut down.
Just as far as legacy goes, she doesn't need it.
All right, on the men's side, who are you taking?
So I have the final. As much as I love a Cinderella story, I have it UConn Purdue. I think NC State will bring a fight, but I think Purdue's just an inch notch better. I have UConn taking the whole thing. I think they're going to repeat. I think they're just too dominant. I think Dan Hurley, what he's done with this program is remarkable, and I just think it's just hard with those lineups. I think they're better than everybody.
I have slept on Purdue this entire tournament. This tall man is just killing everybody.
Sorry, Nat.
He has absolutely no riz, and Purdue is absolutely delulu. But I'm going to roll with Purdue.
All right, Purdue with the upset.
Yeah, I mean, I can't do the same things as you. That's boring. But real talk, I really do like what Purdue is doing. Winning the games inside out, using their length, their power. There's a reason why they were a number 1 seed, and I just, like I said, I didn't take them seriously, and that's on me. So here's how I'm paying it forward. I'm rolling with Purdue.
So we're either going to take both shots, 2 shots, 1 shot, or...
That's usually how it works,
Yeah.
Charlie.
Sometimes.
Yeah, you do the
yeah,
both shots
yeah.
or not
I'm just
enough.
saying who... I should have prefaced. One of us is probably...
Why did he flex his blazer at me like that? Who does he think he is?
It's a little tight, actually.
High and tight.
That's
Wait,
why.
what does tight mean? Just
It's
kidding.
all elbows.
I'm y'all's age, I promise.
But worth noting, I'm first in our bracket.
You are.
And
you
both.
are. You are.
You are first in the bracket, except you're losing to some randos.
I don't think there's any randos
Don't
in our
call
bracket.
our fans randos.
I don't think that's anybody. That's like a code. That's AI.
They're AI.
Yeah, I'm losing it. Well, I think in the end we're all going to lose to AI some way or another.
Oh, for sure.
Guys,
That's
AI
another
has
podcast.
no heart and soul. You will never lose to AI because they have no emotions. Stop it. Okay, Charlie. We got Final Four this weekend. We've got more Rangers action, Mavs and Stars games. But I feel like
Championship.
I'm missing something. What am I missing?
Well,
Oh, yeah!
you're missing, we haven't talked about Philadelphia in a while.
Why did I get so uncomfortable? I know what's coming, yet I got so uncomfortable whenever we talk about Philadelphia.
Because we always talk about Philadelphia on this podcast. In other contexts, yes, this Saturday, Sunday is WrestleMania 40.
Wrestling.
We'll be in Liberty City. We'll be in Philadelphia, which, by the way, there is a slight little chance of rain this week, and that's going to be interesting. I don't think it'll affect the wrestlers, but the fans. There's a slight chance, but I don't think it'll happen.
I hear you complaining about Philly, and all I'm thinking about is cheesesteaks.
There's going to be cheesesteaks. There also might be Jason Kelsey, I just read, could be there.
heard
I would
that
love
too.
to see him somehow, like last year, George Kettle getting involved. I mean, Jason Kelsey, everyone's favorite center.
Okay, so yes, I keep up with it.
Jason Kelsey gets a Stone Cold Stunner, I will take all the shots.
He actually might be drinking all of Stone Cold's beers if Stone Cold's there.
I am here for this. Tanner, I need you to make a shot bet, like a real shot bet.
If Jason Kelsey gets Stone Cold stunned, I'll take a shot.
Okay, I'm holding you to it. It's gonna be 10 shots, but it's fine. Just kidding,
10
just kidding,
shots.
just
10
kidding.
shots.
Just
There's gonna be 10 Stone Cold Stunners.
All of the stone. What's
Very
this?
vivid.
Okay, can I ask
Do you
what
think
is?
Saquon-
Can I ask you what a Stone Cold Stunner is? Because I have no fucking
All right,
clue.
so you can school me on the Riz. You've never seen a Stone Cold Stunner?
Is that the thing where Pat McAfee spits out all the beer in his opening thing for the Pat McAfee show?
No.
That's a spit take.
That's a spit take.
No, it's not a spit. Well,
Stone Cold Stunner is Stone Cold's finisher. We can watch it later. I'm not gonna show you. One of the coolest.
Yeah, it's done.
I know Charlie does love his demos. I wish you guys could see Tanner right now. I wish you could.
But it just brings back my childhood
Okay.
Attitude Era.
All right, so break it down as my first WrestleMania that I will be watching.
Is this your first one? You didn't watch last
Like
year?
a Virgin, baby.
All right, all right.
Yeah, last year I was in Colombia.
Oh, that's right, that's right.
So, Like a Virgin, what should I be watching for?
Man, even if you're not a big wrestling fan at all, like WrestleMania is just such a spectacle, a show in itself. The matches, for the most part, always deliver. If not, there's always, like we said, celebrity appearances. Last year Snoop Dogg was there and a special, host of the show, which is fun. You just never know. But it's WWE's Super Bowl. And I've been watching since I was a kid, and every year it's very stacked. Of course, now they have 2 nights. Back in the day, there was all one night. So
Yeah,
there's so much
I know there's 2 nights, and I know that
story to be told.
there's a lot of interlaced stories, and we wrote down all the matches, which I already knew about. I'm trying to think what the best way to go about this is.
Well,
I'm gonna
go
tell
night
you this. Night 1, I have been thirsting for the Uso Brothers showdown. This is what I've been waiting for. I'm a huge fan of Jey Uso, and I've been waiting to see what happens when he faces off against his brother.
I am too. I love sibling matches and true siblings. I mean, we've had Undertaker and Kane multiple times, but we all know, like, they're not real, not true brothers. But one of the greatest matches I loved watching was, Bret Hart and Owen Hart. Great technical battle back in the 90s. Matt and Jeff Hardy, great. Jay and Jimmy talked about this last summer, right before Money in Bank, that this was their dream to wrestle each other at WrestleMania. Now they wish they had their father, Rikishi. I didn't see, that's not a stipulation, but he will be there. I cannot wait for the athleticism, the in-ring storytelling, and just years of probably what we haven't seen behind closed doors, and these guys.
Okay, but is it real though? But is there are they besties when they're not on camera? I don't
They're
understand.
brothers.
I know they're brothers.
Yeah.
But
on camera,
they want to kill each other. I get that. But off camera is
They're brothers.
Jay eating Thanksgiving dinner at Jimmy's.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, they're inseparable. They love each other. By the way, check out the Roman Reigns documentary that's out now on A&E. It's wonderful. Goes in a little bit of that. But they're ultra competitive. They have been. 2 former football players, been not separated since birth. Although, even though Jimmy's technically the older brother, how that works as twins because he was born right before.
Oh, yeah, the
that always
thing.
was interesting. I'm excited because both guys are super athletic, and I'm just excited for that in-ring storytelling. Kind of surprised we're getting this, when I say this soon, right now, but I'm ready for it.
But I feel like they've been building up to it for so long with Jay going from Raw to SmackDown. So, the new theme song.
Well,
it's just me, Oos.
Well, we got it.
Day one, it's just me.
Where it started is the tease back in SummerSlam.
But it's just me.
Where Jimmy interfered in the Roman title fight, costing Jay. But what I'm saying is they were just talking about it early July last year. So I thought, well, maybe it could happen for maybe another down the road. But they didn't wait. And I'm excited because it fits into this bloodline story. And it's going to be fireworks.
All right, the other thing I want to get into for night one, because I know we've been talking all night, this tag team match. Mm-hmm. The story, I feel like after Royal Rumble, after CM Punk got hurt, WWE/TKO had to take a very aggressive route to keep people interested. And now we've got this tag team match, Rock and Roman versus Seth and Cody. Seth Rollins is my favorite wrestler because he looks like a lion and he demands so much attention, and his theme song is my favorite. But here we are, tag team match. What am I supposed to think of this? I don't understand why this is happening.
Well, I think it's a heck of a match, and it may be
from an athletic standpoint,
well,
it is.
No,
but
not from the athletic. It may be a pivot, but here's the thing: how do you not have Rock part of the biggest WrestleMania?
Does Rock even wrestle anymore?
So I'll get it. I'll fix it to get into that. I think the original night one we talked about, I think it originally was going to be CM Punk, Seth Rollins. I think
I thought that was the whole
Obviously,
idea.
the injury, some other things in the company we don't have to talk about anymore. It's going on. But this is a big night one. 2 actual cousins, The Rock and Roman. And Roman has done a heck of a job with the business. He's the ultimate heel. When John Cena left, this guy has taken over. People want to see him lose. There's people who want to see him win. But what better than one of the biggest superstars of all time than The Rock? And I don't think we're going to get a lot of Rock wrestling in this match. I think part of it is he hasn't wrestled a long time. 2, 51. 3, he's got a movie this summer. Can't risk getting hurt. He will have some time.
I need Moana too, sir.
I don't know
Y'all
what the
are
movie...
laughing, but I'm being serious.
No, that is coming out, but that's voiceover. He is going to be... I don't know when the live action, though. He's supposed to do that, too.
Yeah, I know he's supposed to do that.
Whatever he's doing this summer is going to be shorter, but there will be some Rock action. But I do love him being part of the bloodline and interweaving. The question is... There's always speculation. There's been more speculation I've seen around these main events than in a long time of what's going to happen. Just real quick, so we're not rambling on in it. But the stipulation is when Cody and Seth did confront The Rock and Roman. The Rock stipulation is if Cody and Seth wins, there's no bloodline interference night 2 and against Roman, which we saw last year. Obviously, that wasn't the case. But if Rock and Roman loses, Seth and Cody loses, it's bloodline rules, which is anything goes.
Oh my God. Seriously, like, why do you people watch this stuff? This is so dumb. It doesn't matter what fucking happens on night 1. Night 2, they're gonna do whatever the hell they want. There's going to be all the shenanigans. I don't buy anything. I don't buy rules, nothing.
Rayya, it's entertainment right now. Here's the thing. No, it's good story. It's good story. Look, this one is good story because I think they've been a lot of swerves lately. We also seen outside the backlash, the quick turn. The Rock was supposed to first Roman. There was actual, real backlash that I think did spin the wheel for this. Who really knows? But I see the scenario. I see possibly. I do see Rock and Roman winning. Here's the reason why. I think either there's going to be a distraction. Drew McIntyre's going to show up. He's got Seth Rollins night 2. Or I can see somehow Cody and Seth getting disqualified in a motion. That way there's not a clear, pin.
Do you hear yourself when you talk?
Yeah, talking like someone that's watching the product.
This is ridiculous.
Roman Reigns is boring.
Roman Reigns
He's been the king for 4 years.
But you know what? You know what's good about Roman?
He looks good.
He's hot.
Yeah.
That is your demeanor for your meter for. He looks hot.
Look.
I think he's.
Look. I'm not the girl that talks about sports and is like, oh my God, some guy is really hot. He looks great in these pants. I am not that girl. But when it comes to wrestling, I will say.
That's why Seth Rollins. You're like.
I actually don't find Seth Rollins
Really?
attractive.
I thought you said he's.
No, I just think he's got a lot of charisma, actually.
Yeah.
But I think Roman Reigns is a stud muffin.
I'm interested to see their walkouts at WrestleMania compared to normal walkouts. It's always a show. There's last year, Roman had a symphony doing his music, which I thought was really cool. I'm interested to see what The Rock does, what Roman does, how big. They always go extra big.
Or extra large because it's WrestleMania XL.
Hey!
Oh, take a drink that you don't have.
I am out of alcohol.
See, this is what I want the whiskey wells. Just 2 sips and it's gone. Yeah, I'm excited for night 1. Also, Becky Lynch, Rhea Ripley on the show, or in the co-main event. I see Rhea winning that. I mean, Rhea right now is just over like none other. She is that in-betweener that she's a heel, but people love her.
I would love Becky to smash her, but it's not going to happen. I'm a huge fan of Becky Lynch.
I like both. Well, nowadays, used to, you didn't see wrestlers come on these shows and podcasts out of character, out of what they're doing.
But Ariel Helwani is like a big time.
Oh, yes. He was at
wrestling fan.
I think he was at that show in Toronto at WrestleMania 18. Oh, no, yeah. No, well, now he has everybody on.
All right, so I'm going to fast forward us tonight, too.
Yeah.
Couple good matchups. I noticed in our notes you called Logan Paul my favorite.
I know. I put that in there.
But you know what? In wrestling, I do actually appreciate Logan Paul a lot. Even though I don't understand this whole brass knuckles BS and all the things that have happened at Royal Rumble and whatever. I actually do think he wins this triple threat.
Oh, yeah. No, I think he did. Well, what Logan Paul's been able to do.
And I am mad that I called it a triple threat instead of a three-way, by the way.
Well, I see what you're saying. I'm going to drink. Oh, my God, a gnat. That's what Logan Paul sometimes is, a gnat. What he's been able to do in a short amount of time being in this business, I mean, his athleticism and his charisma, I do too think he's going to win. One reason big is Cleveland is SummerSlam, and that's where he's from, so why not hold the title? Also, sometimes, in these triple threats, sometimes you will see the title change, but I felt kind of like last year when Gunther beat Drew McIntyre, Sheamus. Drew and Sheamus were both on the same page. You see Randy and Kevin. Maybe there'll be a little in-ring competition beef, but I see Kevin getting pinned by Logan Paul one way. I don't think Randy's going to take the fall, but I see Logan getting out. He's going to find a way.
He always does. Okay, big story. does Cody finish his story?
Ooh. This is probably the most speculated more than night one.
Is it? Because I feel like it's very obvious. And like to the point where I'm like, should I even waste my time watching this?
I'll get in what a lot of the different theories. Now, granted, half of these are more of the WWE universe, the fans, but some are also columnists of why, if Roman and Rock win, the bloodline rules, is who can possibly help interfere. Obviously, the bloodline's going to be there. Solo Sikoa, maybe Jimmy, probably. But who's going to come to Cody's aid? Probably not Seth if he's got Drew McIntyre, no matter how that goes. 2 weeks ago, this is a speculation, 2 weeks ago, when Rock was beating down Cody outside, which, by the way, took me back to the Attitude Era. I saw the blood, saw now all the people's reactions. Unfortunately, saw the kids' reactions recently. There was a shot on a trailer outside. You had John Cena, you had Stone Cold. Now, that's obviously promotion. I don't see how you don't have a WrestleMania 40 without those two in some capacity. If you're having anything goes, who had 2-1 over The Rock at WrestleMania? The biggest moments against The Rock. It's been Stone Cold. Also John Cena, who also has history with the Bloodline, with Roman, with Solo, also with The Rock. If you're gonna do a surprise, like somebody come to Cody's aid, those are gonna be the guys. That doesn't mean Cody's gonna necessarily win, but I do see those being the ooh shock. Another thing is people feel like The Rock's going to turn on Roman.
That would be the only way I would tune in.
The only problem I see with that, if he's going away, you kill a potential story. Like, where's the feud? There were talks about him and Roman originally feuding, and he was going to be in Saudi Arabia. But if he's doing a movie, I don't see how you built up a little, unless if they come back to like SummerSlam. So,
look, The Rock is being a effing tease. Charlie, do you like it when you deal with teases?
It depends.
It depends.
I wouldn't be surprised if he does tag Roman. I mean, he's been doing the L still the one.
That is the route I hope he takes, because this shit is boring. I am so tired of the phrase, Cody needs to finish his story. Roman's the most wins and championships over all the time. Whatever the fuck you guys say. Make it fucking interesting for me as a new fan.
Well, wouldn't it be interesting if Stone Cold and John Cena come down?
No, I want to see
Stone Cold stun The Rock again.
No, I want
or Jason Kelsey.
I want to see Roman fucking sweat, and I don't think Cody makes Roman sweat. That's why it's so boring.
He made him sweat last year.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Roman's boring.
But here's the thing.
I rest my case.
If you want Roman to win, I didn't
say I wanted Roman to win.
No, I'm just saying if you want Roman to win, having the Bloodline rules, because once again, now is it the same kind of interference like last year? Now, yeah, it's kind of continuing, but it's fair. I feel like you need Cody to take it off of Roman fair and square, just like Hogan did to Andre the Giant.
I'm trying to think what the UFC equivalent is to this moment, because going from one boring champion to another boring champion just sounds really lame.
I don't think Cody would be a boring champion. I think Cody right now is your Hulk Hogan. But I also think
if Cody becomes Homelander, I'd be interested.
He could.
A heel turn for Cody would be amazing.
And
Thank you.
He's good at being a heel too. But I don't think that will happen right away. What I will say is just recently, and I've been reading this too, is they've been making a lot of pivots based on crowd reaction. They did with The Rock. You got potentially Roman to beat Hogan's record. Now, there's been a lot of complaining that, Roman's not around enough. Big reason why the heavyweight title, that was the big reason why they listened to fans like, Roman's not around. Let's create title, give it to Seth. Saw The Rock lose his match against Roman Reigns. The backlash, if Roman wins, could be also huge. And Roman doesn't, I don't feel like, need anymore to be that champion. I think if he wins, it's because they want him to have that record. And I still think Cody's the guy that's going to beat him. Roman had to get through Brock Lesnar a couple times, lost, and then won at SummerSlam. But I think Cody's going to finish the story.
You know that meme where Charlie is pointing at Pepe Sylvia?
Yes.
That's what this looks like. Right
Yes.
now. How is this going to be good? Well, if this guy does this and this and this,
I know.
it'll be good. You know what'd be great? If Roman fucking dies.
Oh my God.
Well, that's
His
extreme.
career is over.
Look, like I said, I need something interesting to happen. This shit's boring. The fact that they are going with the same main event back-to-back years exhausts me, and I'm not even involved.
Well,
Years ago, I went to Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar, and it was boring as shit too.
well, how about this? Back-to-back and fighting. How many times do we get the back-to-back fights? Immediate rematches. Like, it happened. It's part of the storytelling.
Yeah, but in UFC, the back-to-back rematches happen because the fight was interesting. Uncle Dana knows better.
Not necessarily. I mean, Sean Strickland, Izzy. Now that didn't happen back to back right away,
I
which
opened
I'm
a can of worms.
Which is not. I'm just saying, it's part of the world, and people are invested. They got them invested in Cody, so there you go. And it's the WWE wants what it wants, and what other star you got right now that can do that?
All right. Well, we will see how this all shakes out in Philly. This weekend.
Maybe Saquon comes in. He makes his debut.
I would love to see Saquon, but that's a different story for a different day. All right, next week we are at Maple Landing on Tuesday. We're gonna wrap up all things Final Four. We're gonna talk UFC 300. Can you believe it's already here? We've got a guest.
We do. We have Eli Jordan. He's with The Ticket with the T-Box show. So we'll be talking some Masters, some golf tournament.
I love the Masters.
Do you have a green jacket? I don't have a green jacket.
I do have a green jacket, my bomber jacket. I wore it on St. Patrick's Day. I will wear that. We'll also talk WNBA draft expectations. We'll talk about Wrestlemania, obviously. See where the Mavs and Stars fall in their playoff pushes. But one quick thing, we are making our first event appearance in a couple weeks at an MMA fight. We are going to be working True Grit in Claiborne, Texas, hosted by our MMA coach, Stephen Ocho Peterson. We're going to have him on in a couple weeks to talk through what that's going to look like. But it should be a good show. It'll be fighting. It'll be music. It'll be art. I hear you can get a flash tattoo. Ooh. It is going to be a fun day.
That sounds like
April
if
20th.
you lose a bet, you might.
Maybe you should. Maybe we should make a tattoo bet.
There we
It's
go.
too high. It's too rich for my blood.
You scared?
She has to get an Eagles tattoo.
Only if it's available on the flash pricing.
There you go.
But
well,
anyway.
until next time, guys.